Okay, it's time for episode 3, where I'm continuing my Starlight Drive build here. I wanted to add some houses. I guess what I'm going to be calling the boardwalk. I think at a later date I'm going to be getting rid of those industrial size water purifiers just because I think I want to turn that area into more of kind of like a vegetation point. I'm going to be adding some of those new purifiers in different areas, I believe, in the back. Just because I think it makes more sense. It gets them out of the way. They don't look as horrible. They sound kind of cool because you can hear them in the background. Kind of like a bubbling water. They just don't sound very loud. Wish they were a little bit louder. I've often wondered about using that one, but it takes a special build to use that 2-section long wall because it kind of bends down. It doesn't connect at one end, and it's designed to make it look like it's kind of falling out of place. Here I go for stray walls here because I know I was going to build another house next to it, and I wasn't sure exactly how far out I was going to go yet. And here you see me starting to use those tall walls I was referring to before with the border up at the top, just because they fit better against other walls and around corners. They're not as fiddly. And I know I talked about possibly taking those roofs out. On a later episode I start to build walkways, because I actually recorded this earlier in the week. Just getting through rendering times, uploading times, wife wanting to watch Netflix. Uploading kind of sucks the life out of your bandwidth, so I can really only upload during the night, like when I go to bed, or like when I get up in the morning and I go to work, and she isn't using the internet for a couple hours after I go to work, so usually I'll upload either at night and then once more during the morning. So I've already built a couple of the episodes, I just have to voice them over. But I built up some walkways up on the top, and I found some pretty ingenuitive ways of adding, I guess what they call bridges. It's a bridge that I have in the menu that doesn't have planks coming out of the bottom. But you'll obviously see that in a later episode. And you'll see me adding in some decorative items, mostly just to put lights on and just to kind of give me a feel of where I'd want to put lights and stuff like that. Because I'll go back through at a later time and do some more decorating, because I wanted to try and get some of the ideas as far as what I had for the houses out before I start decorating. That way I don't lose my focus on what I'm trying to build. Plus, what I also wanted to do is I wanted to add all these houses with the beds so that I could delete the beds I placed prior in the big building you see above the actual diner area. I love these candles. I didn't like how some of these connectors and pylons were basically where they were located, so I'm trying to think if it was this episode that I decided to go ahead and restructure some of the way I was altering my power, or using it anyway. kind of wanted to keep some of it out of the way. It's that constant struggle of trying to figure out where you want to put your wires without them being too obtrusive or just being too ugly. I know I have some moments of silence here, just trying to think of stuff to say, really. I don't, as you can tell by my subscriber list at the moment, I guess, you know, I just don't have a lot of followers yet. Most of the followers that I've had in the past have either stopped following just because there was a stretch of time where I wasn't doing anything on YouTube. Just trying to find the game that I wanted to record. Take the time to actually put some episodes out. I guess I could go into the fact of asking if anybody wanted to comment on, I guess, what some of the other people are doing. Mostly just to drum up some ideas, or just to find out a little bit more about you, the viewers. For instance, I don't know, favorite movies, that kind of stuff, or other things, music. If you guys wanted to talk about those kind of things, or if you guys want to write those things in the comments, I'm up for doing that kind of stuff. Last night, we ended up watching The Martian. It turned out to be pretty damn good. But if not, I mean, if nobody comments on that kind of thing, then that's fine. Continue on our merry way. I know Lois, she mentioned stuff like that in one of her videos. I commented on it. I told her my favorite movie was Fifth Element. It was just, for some reason, I just love that movie. I can watch it over and over. This one I was thinking about putting a wall there. I was like, you know what? Let's make this kind of like not a sun deck, but I open it up so that basically, you know, the person living in this particular house gets a view. I put a bench down, keep an opening so that you can see through it easily. See, for some reason these walls just fit around those corners. So much easier. Do not know why. I guess because they just happen to be a thinner asset, basically. So many boards. In an episode I was actually, well, in a session I was playing around with last night, I decided to, I think it comes up to like, it's going to be in episode 12 of this build. I decided to try my hands at building a concrete building. And to be honest with you, I think it's just going to be kind of like a fumble. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. It turned out to be not too bad, but I was not happy with the floors and how to place floors in the concrete because the walls are so thick. The way if you're building a wall inside of a building, the wall either goes on one side of the line or the other. And when it goes on one side of the line, putting a floor piece, it either fits on one section of that wall but not the other, just because of how thick the walls are. It makes that section or that hallway that you're trying to accomplish skinnier than what it is on the other side of that wall. Pretty sure if any of you guys are currently messing around the Wasteland Workshop concrete, you've encountered this, you probably might know what I'm talking about, but it'll be in my video later when I release that one. Wanted to do a bigger table on this one, so I figured I'd put it against the wall. In all honesty, I don't think you can probably have a very minuscule amount of space on either side of the bed, but I do not think it matters with settlers. As long as the bed is there, and I've seen them actually pop up standing on top of the bed, so mostly for decoration or OCD-ness that you would specifically have space on either side, unless it just looks a whole lot better. Some of those lights, I don't know if it's specific to different cells or different settlement areas. Some of those lights, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, because I've heard complaints through other videos, it seems some of those lights are very dim, whereas other ones are very bright. I like that one, it's pretty bright. Okay, I'm going to wrap this episode up for now, since it's about... My next section is going to be a bit long, so I didn't want to tie it in with this one. So I will see you in the next episode.